Well, as that should probably tell you, we're playing Shadow Man. Eternal Darkness is a very good, solid, rounded game, while Shadow Man is not a game I would recommend anyone in particular actually play. Which is why I'm playing it, so you don't have to. Because it is creepy. It is seriously messed up on many levels. It's on the N64, obviously from the graphics, the expansion pack and everything. But it's what I'm going to be doing for Halloween, unless it completely freaks me out, which is a possibility, but unlikely. Getting right into it though. We should start a new game, and I'll let it talk for itself, because it's got quite a lot of voice stuff in it too. Yeah, whatever, Rumble Pack. This controller doesn't support it.
The 9th of November, 1888. By my deeds am I known, and I am known as Jack. Spring-heeled Jack. Jack the Ripper. By my deeds am I known, and they are truly bloody. I took them all to my heart. Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, Mary Kelly, and loved them, truly loved them all. But the immortal power I sought within the sordid confines of their bodies, the still beating organ of the soul, was not to be found. The ritual of the knife was to no avail. I am bereft, and must therefore perform that bloody ritual upon myself.
Stay your hand, Jack, and listen to what I have to say.
How did you find this place? Who are you?
My name is Legion, for we are many. The immortal power that you seek does exist. It does indeed lie within the soul, but only within certain ones, certain dark souls.
My God! What are you that you can produce such things from thin air?
Merely an explorer, much like yourself.
What is it that you want from me?
You are an architect by trade, are you not?
I am.
Then I would have you build a cathedral to pain, a place where you and I and others like us may join together. A place of asylum for all of the unique and misunderstood individuals that will follow you as the time of Armageddon approaches. And at the heart of asylum, we shall construct a great dark engine powered by souls of equal hue. And we shall harness their power to create an immortal army to punish and cleanse this pathetic world.
And where might I build this cathedral of yours?
Across the veil. In the darkness, amongst the restless spirits of those who have passed beyond, in the place known as Deadside.
Then, if I am to join you, I must die.
It is prophecy. We cannot fail, for we are many.
For we are many.
Amen to that.
The darkness coming.
What's the problem, Magneta?
I had a dream, Shadow Man. A real bad dream. A dead-side dream. The five are here. The herald of the apocalypse. Beacon's fire confirms everything I feared. The end's coming, Shadow Man. An ancient prophecy tells of the return of a great evil to Deadside. A terrible force gathering dark souls to its darker heart and using their power to cross over into this world and bring about apocalypse.
I must stop this evil from bringing about the end of all things.
Only you can do it, Shadow Man. You are the walker between the worlds. I can't go dead side, and Jaunty's next to useless in both worlds. You are the only one who can do anything about this.
As it ever was.
But you ain't never confronted anything like this evil. It's so pure, not even the ancient protectors of the Dark Souls could destroy it. They could only banish it from dead side. They knew it'd come back one day. Hence the prophecy telling of its return. The power of the ancients is all but gone now, and the Dark Souls that evil desires lie unprotected. What you gotta do, Shadow Man, is to go dead side and recover the Dark Souls. Take them into your own protection before evil gathers them to its terrible heart.
Okay, so let me get this straight. If I don't recover these Dark Souls, then the world's gonna end. Am I right?
You got it.
Shit.
Look, I gotta go. I've got a lot to do. Take Deacon's file and meet me at dawn at the church on the hill. I've kept your stuff safe for you.
I hate this shit. Just a pawn in Nettie's master plan. She moves me in mysterious ways, and brother, sometimes she really does move me. Can't do nothing about it since, nice as you please, she knitted my ribs into the mask of shadows. I got nothing left anyways. It's my fault Luke's dead, and Mom and Pop too. I deserve everything I get. Every bad thing that comes my way. Can't live, can't die. Deadside's the perfect hood for me. A nowhere place. The asshole of the universe.
And now we're in control. As you may have noticed, the character models are a bit stickly. It doesn't take away as much as you might suspect. It's all about the music and ambiance, and the game goes to some truly dark places a lot of the time. I'm looking for a way to mark these as mature. The game earns that M rating it's got. Over here, we've got stuff. Two of those things, and a heart-beating thing that we can't do anything with at the moment. This is the so you fell off the bridge area. I forget if those respawn, or if they're just something you collect and they never come back, or... It's been so long. There's no music right now, just because this place has no real ambiance. It's just a Louisiana swamp. And that's why there's a way back for if you fell off the bridge. Whee! Jump, 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 Shadow Man, jump! Yes, this is Michael Leroy, I think his name is. He's the Shadow Man. Normally, the Shadow Man would put on the Mask of Shadows to gain power over the souls of the dead and that sort of thing. Freaky dog. I don't know if that was graphical glitching or intentional. Yes, he can cling to walls. He can kick off walls. And he can pull himself up walls, much like any good pseudo-Tomb Raider-inspired protagonist. The game's not quite as block-based jumping as Tomb Raider was, though. It's the only real problem I've had with this game in terms of figuring out what to do is texture-wise. At least I remember it being texture-wise. It might be other things, too, but... There's another one of those heart things. I'm sure they have no relevance to the plot whatsoever. This is a tutorial of the figure it out yourself variety. This is not the worst kind of tutorial. I mean, it's not the best either. And also I need to remember that I can't make that go faster. Now here we get to the point where texture becomes a problem. Obviously, you can tell there's a hanging ledge there because there's a thing sitting on it. The problem comes when you can't actually identify them because of the graphics textures and everything. Hey, dog. Yeah, Mike's got some pretty decent moves, really. There also seems to be light artifact glitching through walls. I'm not sure what the problem is with that. It's probably an emulator issue because I don't remember it. But anyway, before we go to the church, we should probably check out the file we were given. That's the wrong button. I'm still figuring this out entirely. Oh yeah, we can find out what those are. Cadeau. I don't know what they are. I know they're for something. It's the serial killer reports. Whenever possible, includes background, criminal profile, sightings, and prime suspect for each of the following. I know some people don't like me reading these sometimes, but the font's probably going to end up really scrunched on YouTube, so it's almost required. Report 1. The Lizard King. Dr. Victor Batrakian. Number 2. The Repo Man. Marco Cruz. Number 3. The Video Nasty Killer. Milton Pike. The Home Improvement Killer is the entirety of New York City. No, it's... The first 3 are all in the same location. They were imprisoned. And now there's an uprising at the prison. I think you find that out in the report. So. And number 5 has been dubbed Jack 2, and is staking out the old haunts of Jack the Ripper in London, England. Can't possibly have any connection to the original Jack the Ripper, who ritually killed himself at the behest of an ancient biblical demon. Thomas Deacon, private investigations, various information that I'm sure is irrelevant and doesn't come into play, and I'm serious about that. It's just kind of making it look more official. Agneta, here's the information you requested regarding the 5 serial killers, referred to by yourself as the 5. My research has led me into areas I do not normally pursue. No demon spore, Asmodeus, as far as I can see. My sources tell me that each report is as current as it can be. The Batrakian report is particularly up to date, with a news item included that's only a week old. While studying the information, of particular note is the inclusion of symbols and poems at the crime scenes, along with the phrase, "For we are many," taken, I believe, from the Bible, Mark chapter 5, verse 9. Are these guys in cahoots, or is it simply coincidence? Knowing you as I do, Nettie, I cannot believe it's the latter. Anyway, hope this stuff proves useful. Best regards, Tom. Report number 1. Dr. Victor Karl Batrakian. Age, gender, weight. Born in Switzerland. Has a small scar on the left temple. Born Geneva, Switzerland, the son of a wealthy Swiss banker. A brilliant student, Batrakian graduated from Cambridge University in 1985 with a Ph.D. in forensic psychiatry. I'm not sure what that means exactly. My best guess is like determining what motive the killer might have for the way they mutilated their victims, or... Batrakian spent the following 4 years at the London Medical School training to become a general practitioner. Was expelled from the school without completing the course. Immigrated to the U.S. in early '91, using forged certificates to gain a green card. Established medical practice in Boston, was indicted on 5 counts of murder following the discovery of an insurance fraud involving 5 of his patients. All wealthy widows who had willed him their entire fortunes and were subsequently found dead of natural causes. Batrakian, as their doctor, had signed all 5 death certificates. Captured by the state police as he was about to cross the state line in Indiana, Batrakian absconded from the Butler County Sheriff's Office after killing 2 deputies and wounding a 3rd. At this point, December '95, Batrachian appeared on the FBI's most wanted list. In December 95, a handwritten letter with an Albany, I think it is? Abilene, or something, postmark arrived at the offices of the Dallas Morning News. See attachment number 1. In it, the writer intimated, somewhat obscurely, that they intended to commit several bloody sacrifices. The writer of the letter has been since identified as Batrachian. In January 96, the corpse of an unidentified young man was discovered in a derelict boathouse on the shores of Lake Fort Phantom Hill, Texas. Forensic examination showed the head of the corpse had quite literally exploded, as though from some great and unnatural internal pressure. A strange symbol had been branded on the left side of the victim's chest. Over the next year and a half, 12 more murders followed, all with the same modus operandi. FBI agents captured Batrachian in August 97. He was subsequently convicted on 15 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to die in the electric chair. He is currently on death row at Gardell County Penitentiary, awaiting the results of his second appeal and achieving a certain notoriety in artistic circles with what he calls his asylum installations and his schismata paintings. See Figure 2. Indeed, London's Golgotha Art Gallery recently bought one of these schismata paintings for several $1,000s. Wonder if that means the whole image included, or if it's just the obvious painting in it. Letter to Dallas Morning News. Dear Sir, I have brought his kingdom to earth, and a bloody cleansing is nigh. Indeed, well overdue. I am the leader of the 5, the watchers at the gate of souls. We shall make the way for the coming of his glorious army, and as a fanfare we demand several sacrifices, blood sacrifices for his pleasure. So be aware, then, that the road to your Golgotha shall be slippery with your blood, for we are many. I remain, as ever, disrespectfully yours, the Lizard King. Yeah, Batrachian's some kind of a nut. News story from Clearford Chronicle. Mass killer masterminds prison siege. Mass killer Dr. Victor Batrachian is the mastermind behind the 3-day-old siege at Gardell County Penitentiary. Batrachian, who's been on death row for the past 2 years, has become something of a celebrity in artistic circles with his schismata paintings. Details are sketchy, but it appears that last Thursday, Batrachian was momentarily left alone in the prison's art studio. When the guards returned, he was nowhere to be found. After killing 4 guards, Batrachian managed to override the security systems, releasing 300 prisoners. The condition of the 25 hostages is unknown. Where's it mentioned the 25 hostages before? I don't know. Gardell Penitentiary is currently surrounded by 150 National Guardsmen, but as yet they have not been given the order to go in. Poem found at a crime scene. The Lizard King shall lead the 5 from out at the southern goal. Gaol, I think that's, shall cut his bloody swathe. True hate shall find a way. In him the darkness stands revealed. His eyes as void as a dead man's gaze, as cold as the light from a dying star. For we are many. And killer report number 2. Marco Roberto Cruz. Heavily tattooed on upper body, scar on left cheek, has Lover Boy tattooed on the knuckles of his hands. February to November 96, Marco Robert Cruz kidnapped and murdered 10 people, preying on couples mainly around the Death Valley and the Mojave Desert. Following symbol was found near each victim. The following poem was also found near each of the victims. For in the western deserts he finds a form. He is the child with the mouth of blood, the bleakness before the beginning of time. He is the glint of ice in a murderer's eye, the savage heart of every crime, for we are many. Ironically, Cruz actually worked as a repo man for 5 years. He also worked as a DJ and had an auto shop business at one time. Served 7 years for armed robbery and aggravated assault, no previous convictions for homicide, but was implicated in several milk killings, with lack of evidence to convict. It is not known whether he is among the inmates involved in the riot at the jail. But it's a safe bet, seeing as this is a video game. Milton T. Pike. Flaming Skull Tattoo! I like this guy. Well, not really. Vietnam veteran, Green Beret, Special Forces electronic countermeasures agent, or expert, dishonorably discharged in '73 following alleged assault on another officer. Upon discharge, worked as a TV repairman. Indicted in the shooting of his mother in '79, he was acquitted due to a lack of evidence. Joined an American Knights of the Cross survivalist militia group in 80. 81 formed his own breakaway splinter group, Knights of the American Heartland, with fortified compound located near Eureka, Florida. The identifying symbol of the KAH is remarkably similar to the crossed spears symbol. See attachment number 1. Number 1C? Found on stickers affixed to the videotapes sent by the Video Nasty offender to various state police officials. KAH incorporated into National Militia Organization in '82, subsequent expulsion later that year following Pike's murder of 18 of his own militiamen with a rocket-propelled grenade. '91 was arrested following the murder of a hiker in the Cypress National Preserve. Escaped from custody, he killed 2 sheriff's deputies in the process. Pike's whereabouts unknown from '91 to '95, and from December '95 to September '96, he murdered 9 women, disposing of their bodies in numerous locations. Pike was known by the Sulberquite Video Nasty Killer due to the fact that the state police in all the states mentioned above were the unfortunate recipients of videotapes showing in horrific detail the hunting down and subsequent slaughter of at least 6 of the above victims. Following poem found on nearby each of the victims. And lo, if war should have a face, this one of the 5 would show that bleeding mask. Ears pricked to savor every scream, teeth bared to strip the carcass wet, and tongue to lap that vessel dry. For we are many. Pike was captured by the FBI in October '96 following a series of anonymous tip-offs. The killer gave his code name as Legion. 3 agents were killed and 5 wounded in the furious gun battle that followed. Pike, severely wounded himself, was eventually passed out due to blood loss and was taken to the Dallas Memorial Hospital, where he remained in critical condition for several days. Just a moment. Water. Where he remained in a critical condition for several days. Following his recovery, he was tried and convicted on 11 counts of first-degree murder. One of the FBI agents had subsequently died of his wound, and is currently incarcerated at the Gardell Penitentiary awaiting execution. As with the previously mentioned offender and fellow death row inmate, Marco Roberto Cruz, it is not known whether Pike is among the prisoners involved in the riot of Gardell. Photograph of the crossed spears symbol. Looks like a pair of scissors, too, really. Home Improvement Killer. I can't help but think I've seen someone like him before, like the squinty eyes, the bodysuit, that sort of thing. I don't know. It is estimated that the offender known as the Home Improvement Killer has so far murdered 12 people of both sexes over a period of 2 years in and around the New York area. A peculiar facet of the offender's signature is that he leaves behind the skull of a baby canary. Hidden inside the skull is a piece of rolled-up paper torn from a notebook. Written neatly on the paper in black ink is a poem, beneath which is drawn an arcane symbol. Lists of various sightings, background, indicted in 1997 for attack on a young woman in Greenwich Village, disappeared while on bail, paid for by his mother, also wanted for subsequent murder of his widowed mother. Victim found in a darkened bedroom. Offender had apparently switched off the power in her apartment house. Known to keep birds. Present whereabouts unknown. Poem at the crime scene. From the east to the idiot monster cometh, with nails to announce its blasphemous intent. In still dark chambers it awaits the shadow. Ebon body scars the power, dark messiah with a hideous strength. For we are many. And Jack 2. This offender, known as Jack 2, for reasons that will become evident later in this report, preys solely on women, striking late at night in the early hours of the morning on or near London Underground stations in the East End of London. This offender has so far murdered 4 women. We've got some symmetry here. Cool. Yes, they are all on pretty much exactly the same day or close to it, and have similar names. Fun. As can be seen when comparing the above lists, all of the latest victims have very similar names to the original victims, and the recent locations, when looked at on the map of London, are very close to the 1888 murder sites. Similarities between this case and the one in 1888 extend to the appearance of the 2 offenders. Compare the artist's impression of the offender at the beginning of this report with the man in Figure 2, a contemporary impression of Jack the Ripper. Scotland Yard has no prime suspects at present. And, of course, there's a poem. The watchers at the gate of souls shall make the way. The 5 are red in tooth and claw. The head, the heart, the hands, the teeth, the eyes, all combine to create the 5. For we are many. That symbol actually looks just like the picture that Backtracking painted, doesn't it? Another one! Ooh. The knife shall carve its bloody ritual, a sanguinary return to a darker place, flesh running cold with the shedding of tears, to shred, to cut, to slice, to know the weeping wound and its gloaming soul, for we are many. And that's that for the reports. Here. There we go. Got a bit of disorientation switching from 2D to 3D. This is one of those games with... Wrong. Horrible camera. But it can still be used, it's just not. And one more cutscene.
Nettie?
Hey there, Mike. Glad you could make it.
How could I refuse your offer? How could I ever refuse you, Agneta?
You can't. I'm simply irresistible. I hope you read the file I gave you, and read it real well. Between the lines, you'll find the signs.
You got my stuff?
Come on in, honey.
You know, on the way over here, I got to thinking about these dark souls. If they're so damn dangerous, why didn't the ancients just destroy them?
Because that's impossible. Their power is their immortality. If evil ever manages to implant these immortal souls into its monstrous slaves, can you imagine the carnage an immortal, unbeatable army would bring to the earth? That's apocalypse, Shadowman. That's the end.
Okay, so I really gotta get to the dark souls before the bad guy. I understand that, but where do I find them?
In Gobi. Each Gobi has been sealed by the most powerful voodoo. Not even the greatest Bokor or Mambo can open them to release the dark soul within. Believe me, I've tried. But a Shadowman, or something even more powerful, just might be able to do it. Release the dark soul, and take it into yourself. But be warned, the dark souls are a pure and ancient evil, and possess a power that should not be abused.
Okay. Let's just get this thing over with. You got my stuff?
Right here.
A wheelchair, Mikey.
Jesus, Luke. He's alive. Alive and in pain. I've got to help him.
He's dead, Mike. You know that.
I know, but I saw.
It's understandable that you still have strong feelings for your brother. That's why the bear works for you, connecting you to Deadside. Use it now, Mike. Go Deadside and find Jaunty. He's waiting for you at the narrow gates. He's got something to show you.
Okay.
And Mike,
Yeah?
if you need me, I'll be here. Now, go see Jaunty and get them dark souls.
And with that, we've got to go to Deadside. But we're not going to do that just yet, because you won't have noticed anything, but there was no sound in that last video. The sound cut off at some point. So look at that. I'm firing a gun, and there's no bang. I'm not sure when this happened exactly. It's the problem with games that have lack of mood music at points. But in any case, I'm going to be saving and splicing and recording, and later everyone!